Hi guys. Um, this morning, how are you doing? Good morning. I wanted to start like a series where we can review certain apps that are coming into the ride sharing space, because apparently there is no shortage of it. Over the past couple of months, I've had contact with at least two different app companies or entrepreneurs who were telling me about their own app and all that. So it just clicked like, you know what, let's do a kind of a review and see, especially if an app seems promising, why not? Now one of it, I think it was a Kabi something. Sorry, I don't quite recall the name because it wasn't quite impressive, honestly. Because he said to me that they were going to take 20% commission, and then the features basically were similar with Uber and Bolt, but then he said that it was a Nigerian made, so um, it's like made in Nigeria for Nigeria. Like that was his sell, okay. And for me, it's like, who cares if it's made in Taiwan or something? That's not the point. You are still basically masquerading as Uber and Bolt, but made in Nigeria. It's just not something anybody's interested in. At the moment, drivers are complaining, passengers are complaining. Drivers mostly about the fare. Most drivers feel like they're not okay with the fare. Sometimes they accept the trip and then they go ahead to kind of communicate about, yeah, no, I'm not going for this trip. I'm not going for this price. I'm going for this price. Whatever. Right? So there is definitely some, I don't know, some gaps in the market that needs to be filled. Coming in and saying you want to compete with titans like Bolt and Uber, it just does not make a lot of sense, right? And I think it's going to be a hard sell, to be honest, right? Drivers or passengers are not going to just leave Uber and Bolt and then just come to you and all that. So it was kind of weird. Now the second one was what intrigued me, and that's what is actually making me feel like we need to talk about this, right? I found this app. The name is TruBooker. Now it has two apps, much like Uber and Bolt. There's the TruBooker for the passenger. There's the TruBooker for the drivers. The best part about this app is this. I'm going to be telling you about the features, at least 10 features I'll tell you. But the best part about this app that intrigued me, because I had to look into the white pages, I read through and I was like, wow, no, let's do a little bit of a review. So the best part is drivers. The driver is king here. Let me tell you what that means. The driver basically sets the price. In fact, that's our very number one feature of this app. First things first, when I was told this, I'm like, so the driver sets the price for where he's going. How does the passenger then, you know? I had a bit of a trouble. Let me just say, I had a bit of a trouble understanding how that is going to work, because in any business, customer is always right. So the customer sets the price. The drivers bargain for the price, but then they actually made it reverse and they made it look cool. Why do it that? Like, they made it actually work. That's the most intriguing part. But here's the thing. One of the best features of the app is that the driver says, I'm going from here to here. Let's say I'm going from Abuja and then I'm going to Kogi, or I'm going from Gwagwalada and I'm going to Asokoro. And then they also said the time, they said the date, they said the place for the pickup, and just create the trip. And the trip is going to be like out there. And then a customer comes and is like, this person is going from Gwagwalada. I stay in Gwagwalada. They're going to Asokoro. I'm not really going to Asokoro, but I'm going to, let's say, Lugbe. Right? The driver, the customer then accepts the trip. So it's basically like your regular taxi that goes and, takes a particular route and then drops people off as they go. Some people are actually going to the other destination. Some other people are just going to drop by the roadside. The app even has an interstate feature. Man, get that. Like, you can decide, okay, I want to travel from Lagos to Ibadan. And then the customer sees it, sees the price. And then another best part about it is that the app has this feature where it's called the vehicle features. What do you have in your vehicle to offer this customer? Like, there's the AC, there's the Wi-Fi, there's the refreshment, there's the what's it called, USB connection for charging, there's music. Depending on how much future you take, okay, you can then set your price, and then the customer looks at it and it's like, no, this person doesn't have AC, I'm not going with this person. Okay, this other driver has AC, I will go with this person. Do you understand? Like, the more things I have to offer as a driver, the better my prices may be, and then even better the customers I would get. Another feature is that the driver can actually create several trips. It doesn't have to be one. What this means is, like, every morning, let's say there's a guy, Elijah, let's call him Elijah. Every morning he goes to work. He travels from Suleja and then he goes to Federal Secretariat. So every morning he creates a trip at 6 a.m. and he's leaving at 6 a.m. at a particular junction in the Suleja area where he's going to meet and pick up whoever is going. And then he drives to Federal Secretariat as his last bus stop. Now somebody might be stopping on the road. There's a provision for that. That's the bus stop provision. And then some other person might actually be going to Federal Secretariat. Even the better part of this is that, or rather, let me finish explaining this part, is he can actually book this every single day for the next 5 days of the week. Which makes perfect sense, because if I book it today, let's say I don't see a lot of customers today, the tomorrow on is still there, the next tomorrow on is still there, and you can even book a return trip. Like, as I'm going, I can also come back. Like, okay, I mean, I get too excited, but it was just intriguing to see. And then this is not just something that happens within the city of Abuja. People literally, you can go from one state to another. It's a widespread app. It was not just built just to serve a particular city. You know, boat doesn't work in every city, right? For instance, if you go to Niger State, I don't think there's boat. I don't think there's boat in Kogi. I don't think there's Uber over there. So interstate travel is not really their thing. InDrive, however, does a better job at that. But this app seems like it's not geo-centered. It's just the entire Nigeria. As far as you're anywhere in Nigeria, you can book and then link up with any driver who has created a trip and all that. Sorry, I actually had bullet points. I don't know why I wasn't following them. Okay, and then another thing is they have 7% commission. The cheapest in the market at the moment is InDrive, and InDrive has 9.99%, 10.75%, that's including VAT, right? But this app is saying, I'll take 7% commission for any trip that you take. I remember what I wanted to say. Another thing that was intriguing to me was you can actually carry more than one passenger. Now here's the thing. Here's the twist. Here's the thing. So if somebody books boats, a person walks, maybe they live in Buari, and then they walk in town somewhere. Let's say Guzape. There is no direct taxi route to Guzape. At some point, this person has to take boats to get to the exact location, or they have to keep breaking their journey and all that. But when they find the one person who is willing to go to that place, even better. But here's the best part. If the person books boats is going to maybe charge this person, I don't know the distance now, maybe 10,000, maybe 12,000, whatever the case may be. But on this app, what I found is if if you are able to carry more than one person, let's say your vehicle capacity can carry up to 4 persons, 1 in front, 3 in the back, and you tell all these people you're going to all pay me 4,000, right? 4,000 times 4 people is already 16,000. But on Bolt or Uber, you're getting only 10 or 12,000 to go with one person. Sometimes there might even be plenty, basically. But these four people don't even have to know each other. They just have to book the same trip. And for some reason, they get to pay less. And the pricing can be competitive too. That's the best part, because one driver who doesn't have so many vehicle features is going to be like, yeah, I'll take 3,000, it's fine. I'm also working in the place. Either way, I'm going to drive to that location. So whether you accept it or not, whether you key into the trip or accept the trip or not, I am going to go to that location. So wouldn't it be nice to just have something else to take, or rather an extra cash to make while you go to this place? Okay, so if you are the kind of person who loves to drive between state lines, okay, you like to travel from one state to another, for whatever reason, I think this app is going to serve you very well. And one more good thing about the app is that the passengers actually pay before they board. It's like basically what happens at your regular bus stand if people are traveling. Okay, you pay the fare and then you board the vehicle. So if you need to buy fuel, if you need to, basically you get payment. There won't be a question of they didn't pay me or the customer ran away. No, no, no. There wouldn't be that. So my dear, I was just intrigued by the app. I thought I should share it with you. So apparently, they at this point, it seems like they're onboarding drivers, right? So I'm like, yeah, definitely, guys. If you're just join, man, just join. Honestly, just join first and check it out for yourself and see what I mean. Okay, I'll leave the WhatsApp link on the this thing because I'm also a member there, and it seems like they're quite very responsive. They just seem like it's an app for drivers, and you should know about it. So the next time we'll have a series out there. We'll talk about some other app if I find something that makes any kind of sense. Anyway. But definitely we'll make it a series. We'll talk about some other apps, especially when we find those type of apps that are disruptors. You know, people who are coming into the system and trying to find leeways to kind of serve drivers better, so that we won't have to complain that hey, my car, oh, I can't repair my car, and this one is taking me for 200 or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so that's that about this. I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you later. Okay, bye bye.